Hello, happy Saturday morning.
Welcome to YouTube 221.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
We'll wait for some
Yes.
anybody that wants to join us.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Should I start with my little trip?
Yeah. Excuse my hand.
I went down to visit. My grandbabies live in Marion, Iowa, which is which is like a suburb of Cedar Rapids. And a few weeks prior to that, Teresa had been contacted by a gal from the Amana Woolen Mills about wholesaling, about having some of their blankets in our shop. And prior to that, I had vaguely heard about them. So then we did some research, and they're amazing. They source all their fibers U.S. sourced. They're still made in the old Amana woolen mill. So anyway, I was telling my son, he took 2 days off, and the grandbaby still went to daycare. So then my son said, oh, I know where that is. We went there last year for some Christmas event. It's 18 minutes from their house. So we took Tuesday and we went to the Amana Colonies, it's called. And we did not get all the way down to the museum to find out when the Amana the folks that lived there and settled that colony, when they vacated and how and why they vacated all these beautiful old buildings. But I would highly recommend a trip to the Amana Colonies. It was amazing. I got this shirt here. It says, I've been through the mill, Amana Woolen Mill, and it is a massive, that's where we started, was this massive old woolen mill that they used to do it from start to finish there, the washing, the spinning, the whole gamut, but now they just have two newer weaving machines and a warping room and then a bunch of sewing machines. And they make cotton blankets, and they source their cotton from South Carolina, and they source their wool from Wisconsin, which is kind of cool. It's all U.S. sourced, and right now they're only working on cotton blankets.
Lorraine asks, where is this?
Oh, it's in Amana. If you Google Amana, Iowa, it's the Amana Colonies, Iowa, and it's an actual town. Even the gas station, the Casey's there, it's all done in old wood. Like you wouldn't even recognize that it's a new Casey's, and the sign is even all blacked out. It's amazing. And so they have all these little buildings that used to be residences, used to be dining halls, and there's like a winery, and there's a chocolatier, and there's a furniture factory where you can watch them hand make furniture. They have a viewing room where you can watch them doing the lathing and it's absolutely, and a clock maker, and of course coffee shops, a meat market, a quilt shop. Like, oh my goodness, it's amazing, this quilt shop. Oh my goodness. And I would highly recommend it. There's a lot of little motels, hotels, B&Bs. I would recommend staying in the Amana Woolen Mill itself, because they've converted, I believe it's the spinning area, into 65 hotel rooms that are newly appointed. There's 2 restaurants on site. There's 2 bars on site. There's gathering spaces. There's event spaces. It is absolutely, it's an amazing place to go and visit, and you definitely could spend a day or two there. And they had a leather workshop. Oh my goodness, with all this beautiful leather work, and a lot of the places are Iowan crafters and handmade things. And there was in some of the shops and whatnot, wholesale imported products that I recognized, boutiques, and yeah.
Can you read these? Because I'm
Oh,
too blind.
Lorraine, ooh, sounds like it went away. Now, Lorraine, I think it's only 4 hours from you. I would recommend a drive there, because Lorraine's in Chicago, right? Yeah. It's I would so recommend it. It is so worth your while. I got a bunch of sausage from from the meat market, and oh man, highly recommend it. Anyway, I just love this shirt. I've been through the mill, and we talked to a gentleman.
It's on her to-do list.
Yep,
She's gonna put it.
I'll put that on my to-do list. Yes. Good morning from Oregon. Hi, Jane. You made it on the live. Yay.
Oh yes, come see us first.
Oh yes, I love it.
Highly recommended.
Yes, absolutely.
So did you like the history? Like, how did they get this all put together?
One thing I talked to Cindy. Is that who you talked to? I think that's who you talked to.
Maybe.
Anyway, because I went in there and I really understand when people are standing at the mill door looking in, and I can tell they want to come in, and I tell the people, you know what, just don't make eye contact. And I feel terrible because I was that person. I was standing, they had it
Were you
roped off.
waving?
Yes, I was absolutely that person. So I'm going to have a totally different take on folks that are looking at.
And they let you in.
Well, me and my son stood there for like 20 minutes, and we could hear a sewing machine in the back. The two weaving machines that were up front weren't running, and every now and then we'd see a man walk kind of in and out, and we're like, so I'm like, you know what? I know, because Cindy said that because I talked to her in the store. We went in the store first, cute little store. They even have the Bear Creek felting kits there. And I said, you know what? I know that we have ordered a box. Maybe you've shipped it already, but if not, I'm here. We could save you the shipping, and I could just pick it up. And the gal working was, oh, you need to talk to, I'm pretty sure it was Cindy. And so then she came out and she said, you know what? I've been following you folks from the start. Mm-hmm. And it was so humbling because their project is massive. Like our project was massive, but in a different way. And they started at the same time. They started redoing the mill at the same time.
Oh,
like the hotel rooms. I did not know that. Adding the event spacing, upgrading the event spacing, and everywhere was fire suppression. I did check that. And, and they do catering there. They just it's amazing. So anyway, so then I'm like, okay, Dusty, I said, maybe our box is back there. We better hop over this little gate and check to see if our box is. So that's what we did. And we went walking back there. I'm like, excuse me. And the gentleman comes back and goes, oh, I'm sorry, we're not doing tours. Like I have myself said many times. And I said, Cindy said there might be a box here for us. We're picking up some blankets. And he said, oh, okay. I think she came and got that box and it's back over at the store. And I said, oh, okay. So of course I was creeping around and looking. And at the time there was one gal sewing. She was sewing the edging around cotton blankets. And I was looking in this massive warping room. This whole room is a warping room, and they put it on literally. And maybe next YouTube, I took a lot of video and I took a lot of things. So then the man was like telling us his life story. He's been in the textile industry, hopping all over the United States his whole life. And then he went back and he became a machinist so that he'd have more skills, working on these machines. He was so interesting. And then he ran one of the weaving machines for us. And then he also showed us how it was, the pre-warped, and how he hooks it into the heddles, the little metal things. Sounds like something they are doing the same thing as you. Exactly. Yeah, only on a different scale. It was amazing. And so next week we'll share some pictures and a little more insight, and whatnot. But highly recommend an Amana visit to Amana, Iowa. It's the Amana Colonies. Google it. And
So was it like a community idea?
It was.
Did it, or?
It was. I don't know. Okay. How it became the Amana Colonies and like a tourist destination from an actual colony that was settled by a group of folks similar to the Amish. So they had like one of the rooms was or one of the homes was the kitchens. So then they all ate there, and then they had smaller residents where they had, yeah, it was a literal colony. And I brought a lot of the literature back that was there, and I have not looked through it yet. Yeah, and like I said, we didn't make it. It was super cold that day. It was actually on Halloween that we were there, and super super cold. Yeah, it just, and these 1800s, these buildings were built, and most of them were stonework. The outside was stonework from the area, and it's just kind of in the middle of the rolling fields, and absolutely beautiful. The barns, and I guess during the summer, my son said that it's packed. You can't even move through the little boutiques and the little shops,
yeah,
and
I believe it.
and they do stuff all year round. They have festivals and lots of German. It must have been a German colony, because the restaurant that we ate in was all German food, very different, delicious, and yeah, lots of wines, lots of wineries. Yeah, pretty cool. The Amana colony many years ago, I remember eating family style. Yes, yes, that's how they serve it there. Now you have an option, either family style or a la carte. But yeah, that was pretty cool. They bring you all these schnitzels and all these different kind of Germany type. Yeah, it's very interesting. Different type of German than we have up here. They didn't know anything about Kuchen. They didn't, nothing like that. A totally different German colony. So kind of cool. So different types of German food than what we would consider German up in this area. So yeah.
So maybe next time when we are able to share the videos, we'll have more information on like how it was.
Exactly, I will, because I have
established.
all of the reading information, but been a little busy catching up since I got back here. So yeah, exactly, and why, where, when, how, all of that. So
So she brought back blankets that we have in our store. This is a wool blanket that we will. It's a throw blanket. We have like 2 different kinds of throw blankets that we'll be having in the store because somebody went there that lived up here in North Dakota and said there's no place to get a nice wool blanket in around where we live here in North Dakota. So that's why they contacted me and said, "Do you want these?" In the
Yes,
store?
yeah.
And I said, "Yes, we can sure try it out, see how that goes."
we have carried comforters that were wool filled from Montana that were handmade, but these are totally different. They're woven, and right now which is really kind of interesting. They're having problems with their dyeing. Really bad
Like
problems.
brown?
It was so they're
Brown
doing
was very nice.
they're doing natural. These are natural wool colors is what they're doing right now because they're having problems. And so right now they're only doing cotton blankets. So in the hotel rooms, all the beds have their cotton blankets on them. They're very, very heavy cotton. Yeah. So kind of cool. Cool.
So these are beautiful. We were very impressed. So I think I mentioned last time that we're working on flushing the ewes and getting them ready for breeding. And so this week I was supposed to get organized and plan who goes with who, but I haven't had time to do that. So this evening I'm going to plan. There's something that went wrong with my app where I do all the records, so it's going to be interesting. And the rams, we'll sort them tomorrow and put them in. So hopefully with all the good fencing this year, there's not going to be any mix-ups where the rams are fighting through the fence and getting mixed up with the sheep they're not supposed to be with, because last year towards the end of the breeding season I was like, why did I work so hard at planning who goes where? Because they just made their way where they wanted to be. So
the ornament kit has been going very, very well. We talked about that last week. We just the mill folks just got done spinning a bunch of more yarn for it because it's the yarn is in there. So so we just made some more CBM yarn that's in there. So that was kind of fun.
I don't know. I just saw something pop up. I don't know if there's because nobody asked questions last time, and so I'm
And we
trying
don't want to miss them.
to see where viewing options, live chat.
All messages are visible.
Ah,
Oh, moderation helps everyone feel safe.
I don't want to learn more right now.
Oh, but they're all like on top of each other.
We couldn't. You're so tiny. Can you get it on your phone so that we can see?
Let's
Because
see.
we didn't have any questions last time, so we're just making up things
Okay.
that you might
So-
ask. So if you have any questions now, well, we're gonna hopefully find it. But Chris is going to talk about.
Yes. Okay. I'm going to talk about, I'm going to give you a little foretaste of where we're going to be going down. Right now we have a Taste of Fiber retreat. It's a very, very popular retreat here that we offer a couple times a year. And we're going to go down and see, it's all gals. We have 6 gals down there working, and they've been here since Thursday, and they'll be going home today. And they're ending today with needle felting with Teresa, right? Yeah, needle felting with Teresa. And yesterday I got the pleasure of doing a tour, giving them a tour of the mill, which was super fun. Julie and Jeannie, they're sisters, and they are the amazing teachers. Oh my goodness. Jeannie herself, they used to raise Cotswold sheep, and Julie, excuse me, Julie, yes. And she's been her and her husband, very involved in the Lamb and Wool Association of North Dakota and Arizona. I mean, both of them, amazing
teachers.
wealth of information. We
Trying to read
stayed
that.
in a private, I think they were saying that they stayed there.
I was trying to figure out how to get this.
Yes.
But Julie is so when we bought the lamb for my daughter for birthday, and that's how I got started. The gal that we bought the sheep from invited us to the Woolly Women gathering, and the Woolly Women. Julie was a member, and she's the one that taught me how to spin. And then it was soon after that Jeannie joined, and I have known them for a long time. They've taught Libby and I most everything that we know. So,
Somebody asked if the blankets are washable. They came with a
care thing that I haven't read.
Oh, and I can't answer that either.
It's in the other. It's in the
It's
store.
in the other room. We'll grab that when we walk by because we want to answer that question. Yes. Yes.
So yeah, I don't even know how to find the live we're doing right now. To try and find it.
No, that's liked video. Yeah, it's
Confusing.
see, and it's going to be different here because
YouTube
I'm
is
one
live.
of the
There's 19 watching.
facilitators. So it's probably different than if I was just
I just don't want to listen
wait.
to us.
right there.
I know, but
Just turn it down. Oh, it is live. She found it.
aren't we
Right
clever?
on the side. There we
She's
go.
a facilitator.
Yeah. Okay. I was visiting many years ago. I remember eating their family style. Lori. Yes. Hi, Lori. Yes, exactly. It's so cool. We are going.
We're gonna figure out if
We're
the
going to go
blankets are
figure out.
washable.
Yep. Did you get a lot of snow up there? Was there a lot when I was gone? I mean, there's still snow here, but I know there was like a little snowstorm Monday night. Correct?
I don't remember a snowstorm.
A squall.
In Fargo, I think it was more.
Oh, okay.
I-
Okay.
Yeah, it's been okay.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have, it's all melting.
Yeah.
I mean, because there isn't a lot of snow.
Mm-mm.
So,
Nope, it killed our pumpkins. They bit the dust. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So then, so we're going to go meet Julie and Jeannie
Mm-hmm.
in a little bit and grab this information along the way, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
And so we came up with a question. Out of the fiber animals, which one is the smartest? And Chris thinks she knows.
And I raised, I would say most of them, other than a musk oxen. And out of all the animals that I raised, all the different, I had about 11 to 13 different breeds of sheep, alpacas, llamas, yaks. Out of all goats, I would say the camel was the smartest. And he would like scheme and plan. Like you'd turn your head and then he'd like see that you're not looking at him and he'd go up and he'd take his lips and he'd go rip down on something, wiring, a light bulb, whatever. And he was horrible. And then
Hopefully
you
it
turn.
wasn't the side of your head.
Oh, well, no, he was good. He never was,
This is good.
mean like that, but just naughty. And he would always test the fence. He was the one that always tested, because we had electric fence that went around the top of all the fencing to keep them off the fencing and to keep everybody in. And he would always test the fence, and he would catch it if it was off or if the power was off or whatever. And then he would be okay. Then he'd just grab the wire and pull it right on off, and pop 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 pop, it would pop off all. So then we'd come out there and all the wire was all, and he wouldn't get out. He would just be naughty. And yeah, he loved marshmallows, different odd things to eat. He was just smart. I would just tell him to cush, and he would go cush right down so that I could do his manicure on his toenails and whatnot. Yeah, just really smart.
So you had him trained.
I did have him trained because camels are so smart. They're not. I used to train horses. I had horses, and I would train them for barrel racing and whatnot. But a camel they're so smart. They're very stubborn, and they're very hard to train because they resist it. And so I brought him to a Wisconsin camel trainer and had him, trained to load in and out of the trailer, to lead at halter, and to cush down on command, and to pick up his foot. But I just had him cush, to do his manicures. But yeah, and then the next thing would have been to having him trained to ride, which sold him before then because he ended up getting so big. He was so big that, yeah, I would love, that's one animal that I really miss, and I would love to have one here someday, hopefully. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So before we head out on our little tour,
the questions. Yeah, last week we was where did the trophy case live back in the day, and we had a couple folks that guessed, and neither got it right, but thank you so much for guessing. When you walked up on the first floor, when you walked up to the next landing, there it was, covering the little window, the little half arc window that was there.
And right now that's cut back, so it's not the same.
Yeah, so that you can look down on that first entryway when you walk in. But that's where
it used to sit.
Yeah.
I don't know if it always sat there.
But that's what
It seems like a weird place.
all the alumni remember, because they don't remember seeing the little half window. They said we were told that that's what they remember it from. How it got moved down into the south classroom, we're not sure, but that's where it was when we found it. Yeah. Next week's question for all of you to give a shot.
There's a mic problem with Teresa's mic. That's just because don't talk as loud.
Okay, next week's question is, who can name the most schoolhouse employees? Is this schoolhouse, Shepherd Industries, the whole gamut, right?
Yeah.
The entire building's employees. Who can name the most of them? Good luck.
Yeah, because we've had them all on before.
Yes.
Introduced them all in past YouTubes.
Yep. All right. So ready to tour?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna head into the store and
I'll go bop ahead and see if.
I got to remove you from this device, so get interesting for a second. Turn you around. Maybe.
Have a nice day.
That's Julie. Gail. Did you find it? I think it's in a drawer. I saw Karen put it in a drawer over here. I'll give you a tour of the store meanwhile.
Ah. Dry
Gail,
clean only for the wool ones.
Dry clean only is the cotton and what does it say?
The cotton and Echo 2.
Oh, here's wool.
I'm not sure what the Echo
Dry
2
clean only.
Yep.
So now we're gonna head down to the Taste of Fiber retreat that's been going on. This is the last day. I hear myself. I don't hear them, so I sure hope they're down here. Oh, here they are.
The same thing as you guys are doing. It's just that this, I'm using my fingers. The only thing that
You
goes.
would have to use his whole hand, it would have to be. He could do it, I think he could do it.
Yeah, because.
Because you wouldn't have to grab anything.
No.
Except for the
shuttle.
Yeah,
So this might be something that would be
Yes.
even more, I mean, that would work too. But it's narrow, and this would be narrow bands, and what I've been doing with the classes with these is, when we get all done, we get this all woven.
Yep.
Take it off, and then I break it into sections, and I make like little bracelets, or key fobs, or, what's the
Any
else
words?
do you do? Bag handles, yes.
Looks
That's
like
a big
fun.
one for bag handles. So,
So they're working on rigid heddle looms
I mean, you can,
today.
Weaving.
there's even a website where you can design your ankle band. Use your plain
Julie
ankle band.
is speaking in the corner and she's talking about ankle looms right now.
All cotton yarn, okay?
And this is Jeannie.
And firmness, you make firm products. You can do it with wool too, because this is a traditional flamenco.
So do they have any
So either
of the
one,
things
but
they've made
this one might
sitting
be
around
a little
anywhere?
and I would,
We're gonna go see if we can find some of the projects they have made while they've been here. They've been here a couple days. Nothing. Yeah, I saw the vessels. I don't see them now, however.
doesn't get ahead, doesn't go top. These real heavy ones, this passes really not, that's what it is.
This must be what we're making.
And did dyeing. These were dyed yesterday.
They dyed those yesterday.
What? Oh.
Just following you. Yeah. So that's all we have for YouTube 221. Hopefully next week we're not going to be live.
No,
We're gonna actually
back to
do it
normal.
back to normal.
So you can get up at 6 and watch us then if you want.
If you want to, yeah.
Yes.
So thank you so much
Yeah.
for watching.
That's
all,
all,
folks.